Hi, it's Rico and welcome back to Brooklyn Cooking. Today we're doing pasta with beans and peas. We're doing basically the same thing three ways. We got a pretty crowded table here just to show you everything. But before I get into that, I want to introduce you to a new prop here, a new apron, uh, a Brooklyn Cooking apron bought for me by my beautiful sister-in-law Barbara and designed by her beautiful daughter Brooke, who's my niece obviously. And that's it. I even got little fruity pockets here to put things in. And thank you Barbara and thank you Brooke. It means a lot. We're going to get going now, and the three pastas we're going to make are cannellini beans canned, sweet peas canned, and we have some lentils. About a cup of lentils, a little more because that's what I had left. I was shooting for a cup, but I wasn't going to throw the rest away. We're going to use the towny. Not that I'm a big fan of Barilla, but when I went into the store the other day, they were five for $5, so I bought 5 boxes of assorted pastas. So this is a little bigger one. They have smaller ones. You could, basically for these you want a small pasta. For the cannellini you could use a bigger one like a ziti or something. But since we have limited space on the stove, we're going to go with 2 pounds of pasta, the same ones, and we're going to divide it up into 3. So it'll be about 12 ounces of each, give or take. So also we always use some red pepper, some garlic. I have some fresh parsley and basil here. And the 3 ways we're going to do it, the difference is how we're going to use the tomatoes. In one dish we're going to use diced tomatoes. In another dish we're going to use tomato sauce. And the last one we're going to use fresh tomatoes since it's the season. So I don't like the skin on the tomatoes, so I'm going to boil these a little. Basically you put a little X on the top and you put them in boiling water for a minute or 2, and it's very easy to take the skin off. If you don't mind the skin, just dice them up the way it is. I'm boiling the tomatoes. These I did first because I didn't want to put too many, and you see how easy this comes out. First things first, we have to cook the lentils. So everything else is cooked, the lentils are not. I'm going to cook the lentils separately. Most recipes you'll see they'll cook the lentils right with the pasta. And remember, we're not making lentil soup, we're making pasta with lentils, so it's going to be a drier version. It's not going to be soupy. When my mother lived in this house, and we rented upstairs before we bought our house, my mother used to make this for my oldest son, Michael, and he loved them. So my wife says, we gotta learn how to make this. So I came down and my mother showed me. She said she likes to cook the lentils first because the water gets so black, and she didn't like all that black in the finished product. So we boil them first for, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. Before I put the lentils in the pot, I just rinse them off through a colander real quick just to get the dust off. Okay, so we're doing this 3 ways. So the first time I got all 5 burners going together. So we're going to try to get 10 gallons of shit into a 5-gallon hat. So basically when I do all this stuff, I just use garlic and some spices. I don't use onions or carrots, but today for the lentil one, we're going to add some carrots in here and some garlic. I'm going to hold on. I don't want to burn the garlic on the others, so I'm going to hold off. This one we're going to use the diced tomatoes. So I'm doing this to show you that there's more than one way to use it. You want to easy way is come home at night and you can do this in 20 minutes with a can of tomatoes. I always add a little red pepper. And I'm going to let the garlic cook a little bit. You can add onions to this if you want. You could add celery because this is the lentil dish. You could eat anyone. You could add anything you want. You know, there's no right or wrong way. Well, I guess there are some wrong ways, but if it sucks, it's the wrong way. But this can't suck. You know, it just can't unless you burn some. So this one we're just gonna go with some canned tomato. Throw the whole thing in. We got a lot of lentils. Now a lot of recipes use cooking chicken stock. That's fine. Whatever makes you happy. Just to get a sauce, just use water to these. Just add water. So we're going to let this sauce go a little. We're going to add some water so it doesn't dry out. It's going to cook a while as the lentils are cooking. Because this is going to be the lentil dish. I always like to add a little dry thyme. And although a lot of people don't add wine to this, I just think wine brings out the flavor of the tomatoes. So I'm just, not a lot, splash of wine. It just helps with the tomatoes. Of course, season as you go. You need a little salt. That's kosher salt. Use whatever salt you like. A little fresh ground pepper. And I'm going to lower that a little. Hope I don't screw up. I don't know which one is which on this. But we'll get that going. Now we'll move on. All right. This one will be the cannellini beans. So we're just going to add some garlic. This one's just going with garlic. A little red pepper. With the cannellini ones, we're going to with the tomatoes I diced. We're going to add that. You saw that I took the skin off and I chopped them up a little. Don't forget a little salt and pepper. Always use fresh ground pepper if you can. This is going to dry out, so we're going to add a little water. Now we'll kick up the heat a little bit. You know, if it starts drying out on you, you just add more water. If it's too soupy, just let it cook down a little bit. All right, before I start the pea sauce, that don't sound right. Just add a splash of wine to that one. I'm going to add the garlic. I got some red pepper. Red pepper is like a given. This is the sweet peas, so we're going to add the sauce to this. Now this one I'm not going to add wine to, and the reason I'm not going to add wine to is when I made this sauce, I added wine, so we got enough wine in there. Well, the wine did its job. And since it's seasoned, we're going to hold off on the salt and pepper on this one. But we're going to give it a little more. Give it a little drop more thyme. This one needs thyme. And again, a little more water. All right, we're going to add the beans that I just drained. They say rinse them. I rinsed them very, very lightly. All right, this is coming to a simmer, so now we're going to add the peas. Simple, as Sinatra said. Nice and easy, does it all the time. We'll just mix it up, and we'll let it cook a bit. The lentils are cooking away. It's still a little hard, but see how black this water is getting? See how black the water got, and that's what I'm getting. I guess that's what my mother was talking about. So we're going to drain that and add it to the... In fact, I'm going to do that now off screen. Drain the lentils. Maybe it's a little too much, but what are you going to do? We'll let them cook in. Maybe add a little more water to this. And we'll just let everything go. The water's boiling. So we're about ready to go here. Okay, we have the macaroni boiling. Says to cook 10 to 11 minutes, but we're I'm going to make this a little al dente, go about 8 minutes. The lentils still need a little time, but as you notice, you'll see some different pots here because I think I needed a bigger boat. Well, I did need a bigger boat. So the pasta wasn't going to fit into the pans I have. This one's okay. See how creamy this is getting? This is my favorite, by the way. Pasta is basically almost cooked. So now we're going to try to do this evenly. We'll do 2 scoops to each one to start. And we'll let it cook together some. If it's dry, add some water. I've been adding water as we went. Now we'll let the flavors mellow. I think I'm getting confused here. I confused myself. I'm sure I confused you guys. That seems like enough pasta for that one. Alright, this needs probably a little more water, so we'll add some more. Let it cook. Actually, it looks kind of good. This one I know I'm going to burn my hand on. This one, to be honest, probably have a little more macaroni than we need. The peas could use a little more water. Just play these by ear, you know. If it's dry, add some water. You don't want to burn the bottom. Instead of going to the sink, if you save some of your pasta water, you could use that. All right, the cannellini beans and the peas are done. We're going to let the lentils go a drop more. We're going to cut the heat on these. And we'll add some fresh parsley. Never go wrong with parsley. A lot of people say I shouldn't add parsley, but I will. And we'll throw in a couple of basil leaves. Never really use basil, but since I'm doing so good with my backyard this year, I'm using them. Whoop, strike one. Okay, these are about 5 minutes with the pasta. They're off the heat now. These I let go a little longer, like an extra 2 or 3 minutes, because the lentils were still a little hard. And basically, you're just cooking this till the pasta is ready. We're gonna plate these up and see how we did. We're all plated up and time to give it a taste. The only thing is, we need some cheese. I was undecided between Romano and Parmesan. I went with the Romano for a very simple reason. I stuck my hand in the refrigerator where the cheeses are, and the one that I got to first is the one I was using. We'll mix it up a bit. We won't contaminate the spoons. And we'll give it a try. Since I'm not going to eat it. This is the lentils. I love lentils. Very good. The peas. I don't know which one's better. And this may be my favorite, but we'll see. This is the Cannellini beans. And it is my favorite. So I hope I didn't confuse you, because I confused me. Sorry for the sweat, but as they say, men's sweat, cooks perspire, and chefs glow. So I don't know which one I am. I think I'm just sweating. So I'm going to pour myself a little vino. It's a Sunday afternoon. All right. Thank you, Barbara and Brooke, for this wonderful Brooklyn cooking apron. I'll wear it proudly. And it's been a hot day on the stove, and it really didn't take that long. And salute. Now I did this 3 ways, not for the lentils, the peas, or the beans. I just wanted to show you there's all different ways to make the sauce. You could, you know, very simple. You come home from work. My mother used to come home from work, open up a can of beans, she had some sauce on hand. Boom, time the water boiled, you had yourself a meal. This was, confusing because I did 3 at once, but it was really just to give you an idea on the tomatoes. So if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to our station. And arrivederci until next time.